Hi, I'm Christina, and today I'm going to be judging books by their opening paragraph. So recently I did a video where I judged books based on their opening line, which was inspired by Jack Edwards, and I got a comment to say I should judge books based on their opening line. So here we are. So for that video, I chose 10 of my favourite books, and for this video, I have chosen 10 books on my physical TBR. So hopefully, by reading the first paragraph and judging it and ranking it, I'll be able to see which ones I'm most excited to pick up sooner rather than later. So these are the 10 books that I've chosen. I basically just picked the first 10 books off my physical TBR shelves, and here they are. So let me just put these down because these are quite heavy. So the first book I have is The Familiars by Stacey Halls. So I've read one other book by her, Mrs. England. I read that earlier this year. I enjoyed it. It was a 4-star read. That was historical fiction, and this one is too. So let's see what the first paragraph is. Okay. I left the house with the letter because I did not know what else to do. The lawn was wet with late morning dew that soaked my favourite rose silk slippers, for in my haste I hadn't thought to put on pattens. But I did not stop until I reached the trees overlooking the lawns in front of the house. The letter I had clutched in my fist, and I opened it once more to check I hadn't imagined it, that I hadn't drifted off in my chair and dreamt it up. That's okay. It was a very kind of, what's that word? It was a very long kind of first paragraph. There was lots of words. It was very wordy. That's what I was trying to say. I just admit it's not really drawing me in. I'm not super excited to continue reading just someone leaving the house with a letter. So it's okay. It's fine. It's not making me really excited. I'd give it 3 out of 5. You know, bang in the middle. It was good. It was fine. It's not awful. It's not amazing. So it's not one to beat, is it? So the next one I have is The Farm by Joanne Ramos. So let's see. So this one is kind of science fiction, dystopian. Never read anything else by her. Let's see the first paragraph. Okay. Jane. The emergency room is an assault. There are too many people, and the din of their voices is too loud. Jane is sweating. It is hot outside, and the walk from the subway was long. She stands at the entrance, immobilised by the noise and the lights and the multitude. Her hand instinctively moves to cover Amelia, who still sleeps on her chest. I like that. That's a pretty good first paragraph. And yeah, I think that gives a lot of kind of, you know, sense of where you are. You're in an emergency room, lots of noises, lots of like feelings. Yeah, I like that one. I think that's a good one. I'm going to give that 4 out of 5, much better than The Familiars. I'm intrigued to know why she's in the hospital. You know, what's going to happen? Is she okay? Is she hurt? Is her baby hurt? I assume it's a baby, a very young child. So yeah, it's like that one. So the next one I have is A Good Girl's Guide to Murder by Holly Jackson, and this one was very kindly gifted to me by Kirsten over at Reading Nymph, so I will link her down below, and I know she enjoyed this one. So let's see what the first paragraph is. This is a YA mystery. Again, not read anything by Holly Jackson, so let's see. Right. Okay, so the first thing you see is actually like a project that she's done, like a exam paper idea. Okay, I'm not going to read that one as the first paragraph. Right, here we go. Pip knew where they lived. Everyone in Little Kilton knew where they lived. Their home was like the town's own haunted house. People's footsteps quickened as they walked by, and their words strangled and died in their throats. Shrieking children would gather on their walk home from school, daring one another to run up and touch the front gate. That is such a good opening paragraph. I'm absolutely intrigued. I just want to keep reading this, to be honest. I don't want to put this one down and read the next one. Yeah, I like that. That's going to have to go on one of my TBRs soon, if I can. I'm doing this thing now where I'm trying to have a theme for my TBRs. So I'm going to have to try and squeeze this one in, or make a theme based on this one. That would work. I really like that. Yeah, that sounds really kind of like haunting, intriguing, something bad's happened, everyone knows. Yeah, I like that one. I'm giving that a 5 out of 5. That's now the one to beat. So at the moment, this is the ranking. It goes A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, then The Farm, and then The Familiars. So the next one I have is Sight by Jessie Greengrass, and I purchased this one recently. And the reason I purchased it was I read The High House by her, and I loved that. It was a 5-star read. It's one of the best books that I've read this year for sure. And this is her debut novel. So I thought, yes, I want to go back and read her debut. And it was also shortlisted for the Women's Prize for Fiction in 2018. So let's see. First paragraph. Oh, I don't know which one's the first paragraph because it doesn't have the indentations. Oh, it's a long paragraph. It's over a page. So let's hope you don't get bored with this one. This is a very long paragraph. The start of another summer. The weather uncertain, but no longer sharply edged, and I am pregnant again. In front of me is all the ordinary and useful disarrangement of my desk, and beyond it, the rain-smudged window with a view across our garden to where my daughter plays, watched over by Johannes. She's begun to lose lately the tumbling immediacy of toddlerhood. I notice it when we walk together, our strides separate, or when we sit face to face across a table. How she is taller now and straighter, and inflects her actions with intent. Once her thoughts broke like weather across her face, but that readable plasticity is gone, and she is not so transparent. Complexity has brought concealment. The weight of her body when I lift her takes me by surprise. Its unfamiliarity, a reiteration of the distance between us. She used to clamber over me, her legs around my waist, her arms around my neck, as though I were furniture or an extension of herself. Unthought of or intimately known, now she stands apart, and I must reach for her on each occasion a little further, until it seems her progress towards adulthood is a kind of disappearing, and that I know her less and less, the more that she becomes herself. This is how things ought to be, her going away while I remain, but still I think that if I could then, I might reach across to where she stands, outlined against the violent yellow mass of a forsythia bush, and pull her back to me, to keep her always in my sight, so that she might be nothing more than the sum of what I know of her. I really like that. I think that's really good. So you've got a woman who is pregnant again, and she's talking about her daughter. Yeah, I thought that was really good. I was really intrigued about what was going on. I love the descriptions in this. She does write so beautifully. The description, the High House were wonderful. And again, it's just really kind of poetic. It's just lovely prose, really, really beautiful prose. Yeah, I really enjoyed that. That's a 5 out of 5. I like that one just as much as A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, but in a very different kind of way. So they're going to be my top 2 now. They are the ones to beat. I think that one's actually a little bit better than the High House. Than A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, but only just. I think it's just, I love that kind of literary prose, and yeah, she was pulling me in. I really enjoyed that one. So the next one I have is Perfume, The Story of a Murderer by Patrick Süskind. So this is a horror novel. This is a classic one. I think this was published in 1985. Maybe don't quote me on that. So let's see. Yeah, it was 1985. There we go. So, okay. First paragraph. In 18th century France, there lived a man who was one of the most gifted and abominable personages in an era that knew no lack of gifted and abominable personages. His story will be told here. His name was Jean-Baptiste Grenouille. Oh, I hope that was okay. And if his name, in contrast to the names of other gifted abominations, Desardes, for instance, or Saint Just, Fouchés, oh, I'm really not good with these names, Bonapartes, etc. I apologise for all of that, has been forgotten today. It is certainly not because Grenouille fell short of those more famous blackguards when it came to arrogance, I'm so not doing well, misanthropy, immorality, or more succinctly, wickedness, but because his gifts and his sole ambition were restricted to a domain that leaves no traces in history, to the fleeting realm of scent. I struggled with that, didn't I? There was a lot going on there. There was a lot of names I couldn't pronounce, and there was a couple of words I absolutely just choked over. It's misanthropic, a misanthrope. Misanthropy? I have never said that word out loud before. I'm going to have to Google that one later. That was just a lot, you know. yeah, I really struggled with that, and I feel like I wasn't like drawn in or excited to read it because I was just looking at the words like, goodness me, I don't know how to pronounce them. That was fine. Yeah, I'm gonna put it, that was more on me than the book. I'm gonna put it underneath the farm because I like the description of the emergency room and all of that more. But I do think it's better than the familiars because I wasn't drawn in at all. That's gonna maybe be a difficult read for me. Goodness me. Right, okay. So after that embarrassment, we have The Death of Mrs. Westaway by Ruth Ware. So I have read some of Ruth Ware's books. I've read The Turn of the Key by her, which I really liked. I gave that one 5 stars. And then I think I tried to read a couple of her other ones, like the earlier ones, and I think I DNF'd them, like In the Dark, Dark Woods. I think I DNF'd that one. So had In a Dark, Dark Wood. Yeah, I think I DNF'd that. And The Woman in Cabin 10, I have a feeling I didn't read that. Oh, The Lion Game, I've read that. Okay, so I've read 2 of her books. This one, The Turn of the Key, was 5 stars. And I think The Lion Game I gave 3 stars. So let's see what this one is like. So, the 29th of November, 1994. The magpies are back. It's strange to think how much I used to hate them when I first came to this house. I remember coming up the drive in the taxi from the station, seeing them lined up along the garden wall like that, preening their feathers. That's a decent first line. Paragraph, sorry. It's nothing too exciting. It's just talking about the magpies, and yeah, that's fine. It's better than The Farm. Not as good as A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. So I'm going to rank it 3rd. I'm not particularly excited to continue with that. You know, it's not like really drawn me in. Okay, so the next book I have is The Holiday by T.M. Logan. Now, I've not read anything by this author before, and I think this one is a thriller. So here we go. We drove north, away from the coast, through the outskirts of Beziers and deeper into the land dock. Vineyards heavy with fruit line the road on both sides, ranks of low green vines marching off into the distance under a deep blue Mediterranean sky. Sean driving, his eyes hidden behind aviator shades, the kids in the back with hand luggage wedged between them, Lucy dozing while Daniel played on his phone, me staring out of the window as the scenery rolled by, the hire car's aircon just about keeping the sticky mid-afternoon heat at bay. That's fine, setting the scene. They're driving north, away from the coast. Yep, she's looking at the scenery, kids are in the back, it's fine, it's like a 2-3 star, I think. That is going underneath The Farm. Wait, I put The Death of Mr. Westaway in the wrong place, I think. Okay. Is that better than The Death of Mrs. Westaway? Yeah, probably. That was just talking about magpies. So, okay. The next one is The Night Tiger by Yangsze Choo. This is fantasy, I believe. Never read anything by the author before. Okay. Ooh. The old man is dying. Ren can see it in the shallow breaths, the sunken face, and the skin stretched thinly over his cheekbones. Yet he wants the shutters open. Irritably, he beckons the boy over, and Ren, his throat tight as though he swallowed a stone, throws open the 2nd-story window. I like that. I think that's pretty good. The old man is dying is a very powerful start. Yeah, I think that's good. I'm going to give that 4 out of 5. Going to put that one... Oh, is it better or worse than The Farm? So I liked the description of the emergency room. I think this one's got a more striking kind of first paragraph saying that the old man is dying. I'm going to put it 3rd. So these are the top 3 so far. Okay, so I have 2 more now. So the next one is The Puppet Show by M.W. Craven, and this one is a thriller. Not read anything by the author before. I think I picked this one up very cheaply in a charity shop quite a long time ago. So, okay. The stone circle is an ancient, tranquil place. Its stones are silent sentinels, unmoving watchers. Their granite glistens with the morning dew. They have withstood 1,000 and more winters, and although they are weathered and worn, they have never yielded to time, the seasons, or man. Alone in the circle. Oh, I'm on the next paragraph. They ended it all, man. I was liking that. I just wanted to keep reading that, didn't I? Alone in the circle, surrounded by soft shadows, stands an old man. Yeah, I like that. That's a really good opening. I was happy to just click on reading that. I completely forgot what we were doing with the first paragraph. Yeah, I like that. I'm giving that 4. I'm going to give that 5 out of 5. I don't know, just something really drew me into that. It's a really kind of exciting start. I just wanted to keep reading that one. So I think that one is actually better than A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, but not as good as this one. I'm going to have to, let me have a look at this one again. Let's see what was said. Oh yeah. No, I did like that. That was very kind of poetic. I love the prose. I think it's going to go second. That's tough. Second though, second. Okay. What's really interesting, just looking at the pile, is the ones with the best first paragraph going down aren't the ones I was the most excited to read necessarily. So that's going to be an interesting comparison. Okay, final book, Monogamy by Sue Miller. Never even heard of the author, never read anything by the author. I was buying some books in a charity shop and I needed 3 for the deal. So this was the 3rd one I picked up. I was just drawn by the cover. It was a complete cover buy. So Annie had been single for 7 years when she met Graham. Whenever she thought about her first marriage, even long after it had ended, her primary emotion was a kind of shame. Shame that she could have been attracted to someone she felt so little for in the end, that she could have lived with him for so long. That's pretty good. I'm kind of drawn into that. Giving that one 4 out of 5. That's good. Let's see. Now, it's not as good as Sight or The Puppet Show, but is it better than A Good Girl's Guide to Murder? Let me just refresh myself. No, I don't think so. I think this one still takes it. So, it's going to go 4th. Right, so top 4 are Sight by Jessie Greengrass, The Puppet Show, A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, and then Monogamy. So, that's so interesting. Let me just get them all on my knee, 1 minute. So this is the ranking. Let me just talk you through them. So first I've got Sight, 2nd Puppet Show, 3rd A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, 4th Monogamy, 5th The Night Tiger, 6th The Farm, 7th The Holiday, 8th The Death of Mrs. Westaway, 9th Perfume, and 10 The Familiars. So in terms of the ones I was most excited to read, I'm going to have to be honest, I was most excited to read Sight by Jessie Greengrass, which is really exciting that that's got the best first paragraph for me. And I think that was just because I read The High House by her this year and I loved it so much. It was just so good. So out of all of the others, I wasn't massively excited to read any of them. I think I chose just the ones I wasn't as excited to read. So let's see. I wasn't excited to read The Puppet Show at all. So it's got 2nd place with the 2nd best paragraph. And yeah, I had no particular inclination to pick that up anytime soon. A Good Girl's Guide to Murder has been one that I've definitely wanted to read, but I haven't read much YA recently and I haven't really been in the mood for it. So I've had that in the back of my mind when I'm back in the mood for it, because I am a massive mood reader. I had no particular excitement to read Monogamy. It was just because it was in the deal that I picked it up. But it sounded pretty good, didn't it? So that's exciting. The Night Tiger, again, had no particular excitement to pick it up, or any of the others, to be honest. I did put Perfume on my October TBR and I didn't get round to it, which is maybe just for the best, because I really struggled over that one. Honestly, I don't think I've read anything aloud that bad since I was in school, and I was really embarrassed about it. So yeah, The Familiars, a little bit unfair. I wouldn't say I was really unexcited to read it at the bottom, but after that kind of lengthy, not very exciting one, not as excited. So interesting. I'm definitely going to try and get the top 3 or the top 4 into TBRs. Probably not by the end of the year, but hopefully in early next year. But it's really nice that the one I'm most excited for, Sight, is the one that has the best paragraph in my opinion. I'm definitely going to have to sit up and take note of The Puppet Show. Really enjoyed that first line. That has been sitting on my bookshelf for a couple of years, a number of years to be honest with you. And I've had no inclination to pick it up. It's just been sitting there. I think it was a cheap one from the charity shop. Yeah, it was £1. There we go. So I just picked it up because I was like, oh, that's a thriller, you know, I like the look of it. So yeah, I'll have to read that one sometime soon. Good Girl's Guide to Murder, yes, when I'm in the mood for YA. And Monogamy, that surprised me. That was a pleasant surprise. I think the deal was 3 books for £2.50 or something really cheap. So yeah, I'm going to have to take note of that one. And all of the rest, they're not high priorities, I'm not going to lie. So yes, I'm definitely going to make a conscious effort to read these, hopefully early next year. So if you have read any of these, I'd love to know your thoughts on them. Let me know which one here was the best paragraph, the best first paragraph according to you. I'd love to know what you thought. Just see how different everybody's opinions are. See which one really kind of drew you in. And is there any here that you heard me read that you're now like really excited to pick up? Is the one that really kind of, you know, intrigued you and you fancy reading now? Let me know that too. So thank you so much for watching. Please do like the video if you've liked it, and please do subscribe if you'd like to see more of me talking about books. Now, I will leave my book review of The High House down below, just in case you would like to know why I thought it was so wonderful, because it was such a good read. I would highly, highly recommend it. And I will also link the video where I judge books by their opening line as well. So I will see you in my next one. Bye.